I had to get a nap, guys. I was falling asleep. But if I can remember, so apparently we found out that the couple from Earl, we found out that the guy and his maid were actually a married couple, and that they're hiding something. But we really don't know what happened at the crime scene as well, because we didn't get a chance to investigate the crime scene. However, we do know that the married couple are definitely hiding something onto what, because all we had was oh, Chris, you silly goose. Anyways, I gotta. Oh, now I've gotta. I might have to pour this into. I think I can drink it like this. I gotta get my system. I drink my coffee. Come on! Come on! Stevia sweetener. There we go. There we go. My little stevia. Ooh, coffee. Alright, guys. Alright. But yeah. So part 2 of this little live stream was that we're going to go to trial. Because now we're in the trial room. Now we got to figure out what actually happened at the crime scene. So, are you trying to knock the control out of my hands, baby girl? Passion, I just got to sit down on my live stream. So, hold on a second, guys. Alright. Now, 3 days ago, she's been coming. So, what's going... Okay, I need her... Just very well. So, right there, in your name occupation, please. Gregson, sir. Tobias Gregson, detective of the inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you like to summarize the events of the case? Yes. The victim was a young woman in her 20s by the name of Miss Olive Green. I beg your pardon, sir. Thought to be? Yes. Given as she'd been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. And that was 3 days ago. She's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger? Fortunately for the Euston student, the charge will not be murder. Pray to elaborate on the details, Inspector. So, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. Case. As I mentioned before, the incident took place 3 days ago, around 5 in the afternoon. Happened on the day on the pavement running alongside Briar Road and White thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. Happened on the pavement. So I'm guessing on that X spot is where the murder happened. Had not been long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down on the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Wait. life was spared, and she was currently been treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious, as she has, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. The case files with everything that we know about the victim so far. Director, the court will now accept the documents as evidence, if you please. So now we have the case file. So I kind of want to look, what are the weapon that was used? Okay, let's look at the case report then. So details, young woman was rendered unconscious in the back. Who the reporting officer, Roy Beat. Roy Beat. Stout build, early 20s. What is the woman that was used? Sir, here it was removed from the victim's back. Ouch. It's a big thing to be sturdy and make scared of walking down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Garden jackknife, I would say. Rather than nondescript. Well, thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Can we look at the blade real quick? I need to look at that blade and see if it was... Hold on, I need to see... Huh? A fine good blade here. It's a fine good pocket knife there. The only problem I have with this blade is that there's a chip on it. Either one or two things could have happened to the blade. Either the blade broke off, could have pierced her back, but for a heavy set that, I highly doubt that the prosecutor is an idiot. Although he probably might know this by now, but I highly doubt it wasn't the knife that injured her. I think it could have been the bike. Painful. Although here's another thing you got to reconsider too, guys. A chip like that was only the tip. I highly doubt a chip like that could land you in the hospital or even put you in a coma if it was that deep. And plus, if it did stab her back, there would have been more blood on that blade too. That contradicts things. Wouldn't you agree, my YouTube audience? All my Redtailers of the Redtail clan. I think that I highly doubt that was what injured her. But let's continue on. What about the motive of the variables of pursuit? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. You with much worth pitching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from those in the second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, doesn't appear to get out much. But this time, we have been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. If the theft and grievance had been ruled out as motive, what reason could Mr. Natsumi possibly have for stabbing the young woman? You arrested the man in spite of that? In totally unjustified and heavily-handed way. He's got a point. Do you always get mad and look around like it's like it's garbage when you get mad about something, Van Zeeks? I mean, what the hell did that looker ever do to you? Swear your word. Swear. You're worse than Jim Leahy sometimes. God rest his soul. Pray forgive and discourtesy on flinging a freshly uncooked bottle. Pray and forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Oh, my eye! But your words have sort its hollow banquet. My leg! For you, my learned friend, who is being heavily handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without a good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the nipotent student. Yes, sir. Gregson, I'm going to listen to your testimony. You better have a good testimony. Does it add up with what I have to say? Well, it doesn't add up with anything that you're about to present, then I have no choice but to... I say it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. It was a usually light fog. Visibly was reasonably good, and there was no one else about the victim and the accused. Either below, the victim was stabbed from behind, sequentially collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books, and he was bought, and he was on his way home from the bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Let's move up. I have a photograph here. The scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Really, the books which you're referring. Take the photograph and print of evidence as well, Inspector. Everything's your spineless breed. You gotta admit this, Pete. It doesn't add up, though. Here's the knife. Well, forgive me, was but the defendant was not denying everything I should put it. What are you doing, Suzuto? Go on. Mr. Natsumi has admitted to be playing some part of the incident. Is that right, Mr. Naruto? Now you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what happened. So I was walking along the first pavement. I could make out the soul silhouette. The soul silhouette. A woman wearing a green overcoat, as she was, and just as I went to overtake her, I was trying to clutch into the cold. Wait, you're in front of you. A green overcoat? Exactly what the woman... Has nothing more. Has nothing more than admit that he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. Does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime stabbing the woman from the back. There was nobody else there at the time. Just two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman. In fact, the accused concedes. It seems like the cross-examination could prove to be A pivotal console. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Use this console to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. I need to press on a statement of his because something's got to add up here. Alright, I can't so I really can't prove he's lying about anything until I know for sure. Until I know for sure what's thing in the cracks. Alright. As I said before, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when the incident occurred and there was an unusually light fog. That part. Visibly reasonably good. There was nothing about the victim. There was no one else. Out of the blue, the victim stabbed from the woman behind the cushion collapsed to the pavement. Alright, let's go to this one. Hold it! From behind, you say? That's right. See from this print. It's quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon. The victim's back. It remains in critical condition. Comatose, no less. Oh, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bots. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undetermined by those disturbed eyes, I'm afraid. Okay. You should have added that to your testimony. Alright. He did purchase some books. So that's 15 minutes. So that would count as 15 minutes before the murder happened. Damn it. We need to hold it there. How are you able to say that with certainty? Quite simply, we learned my friend, because that is what the witness of the crime has told us. Mr. Gregson mentioned a witness yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them was a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That's correct, Mom. Then we must hear that testimony. Prosecution will call one of them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of the winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog may have been, no one else could have seen. Your tiny island is the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by the gas street lights. The prosecution believes there would have been an ample of a light which to the witness the crime. Quite, here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witnesses' statements. If I could just get through the fog. If I could just get through the fog. Already pressed on that. Wait, fog, you say? Around these parts, yes. That's what I expect for a Japanese fellow like yourself, of course. I reckon London the same. Okay, even. I know if I told you. I gotta find a statement in here that can. So I didn't press on these last three statements. I only pressed on this one, and the previous one. Statements I don't believe I can press on. Mr. Nisumi's belongings, you think you'll find on there the photographic print, the crime scene. Yes, 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Scotland books, they were... Are you sure those are... Which means, on the other hand, there would have been free to wield a knife, for example. What do you mean? He made it extremely hard for you to assert his hands are full of books. He managed to close the avenue of escape we might have had before we knew it was there. He may say the defendant was holding his belongings, thrust a knife in a woman's back. What must happen, my lord? Yes. How many books? He had 3 books. Damn! Wait a minute. Look at the... Wait a minute. Son of a bitch! Damn! I can't prove that he's wrong! Son of a bitch! Ugh. That guy is looking at me like, you know, you're not gonna find anything, lad. That's what's giving me that look for. Like, you know, for a fat guy, you're not gonna get anything here, lad. The defendant apparently visits the Scotland bookshop on a daily basis. I understand. What was it? Can you tell us more about this bookshop in question? Please, Inspector. If I must. Do you look at the street map again? Like, wait. Bourbon books? Wait, I got... This was even from Bourbon Books, was it? You can't... Your book... Oh! Thank you, officer! You just told me he didn't get it from Bourbon Books. Oh, you done now? Oh, you fucked now. Yes, I could... Defendant, could you certainly have passed this one? The most important point of the inspector just made being... Really? He said the wrong bookshop. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? Hey, my wolf queen. Wait a minute. Did you just now type that, babe? The woman was walking towards them, so how could he have stopped her? Exactly, babe. I agree. Hey, my wolf queen. Oh, by the way, babe, he named the bookshop wrong. What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Baby! Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, that could be a very important clue. Very well, I can see that being any great importance, but please do your testimony recording, Inspector. Yes, my lord. Whatever you say. Can you be any more syndemic? Say it, say it. You give me that look like I don't have anything. Yeah, got nothing. Yeah, laddie. Yeah, laddie, I got something for you. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a very busy man, you know. With your fish and chips, you got this wrong. This is a receipt that we found from Mr. Narsimi's room. And it was issued on the day of the incident. The details of the purchase of the three second-hand books. And you found that in the accused room, did you? Yes, but the point is, it's not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop who printed on it. Go on. This receipt was from a bookshop called Your Books. Woo! Your Books? Y-O-R-E? Your? I presume. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Narsimi did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Yeah, what? Definitely hang in there, Geese. We're here for you. Inspector, do you know the owner of this bookshop? Yep, yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop, not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, it's the bookshop which the defendant visited that day in question. And the receipt here proves it. Yes, for what difference does it make? Whatever the man purchases 30 told makes no difference in the final analysis. I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here. That might help. Yes, thank you. Have a look at this map, please. The defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books. Then yes, we most certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well that he wouldn't have passed the location at all. Could it be true? Mama, it depends on where the bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Oh, is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Huh? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Inspector Grayson, is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously, when we looked into that, turns out Your Books is just here next to the corner of Burst and Street Cordies. Oh crap, I'm gonna get my ass chewed off for this. And there you have it. You can clearly see it now. My omnipotence friend is obviously in training to be a clown. That word he regales us with such witchisms. For a guy for an alcoholic who uses such big words, you're really manly. To your future career in the circus. And guess here's a toast to your AA meetings. Throw that at me. Grr, put that glass down now. I'll put that down for you. You tell him, Cyrano. I didn't think I needed to spill it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, No doubt he would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Are you guys forgetting there's a 15-minute time gap, too? Allow me to retire for my... No, wait. Allow me to reattire for my friend, if somewhat slow my omnipotence friend. Would you stop saying that word? It's too big. Whoever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Inspector, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. Wait a minute, aren't you part of this case? How are you even a juror? You're the wife of, well, that one dude, aren't you? Because I see the ring. For this guy, I think I'm doing Sherman's voice. What I just say? I've heard enough this now. Beg your pardon, terribly. Well, would you mind repeating that again? Mr. Mahano, you mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, members of Germany may very well decide Mrs. Sumi is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must consider the assertion just forward by the prosecution very carefully. The claims as against the prosecutions and the books. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally fraud. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You see what I mean on this map? Returning from your books at his lodgings. Asumi could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, this isn't the only conceivable route to have been taken in two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked. And even if he did, he would have attacked from the front. But she was attacked from the back. Taking it back to a clown's fool's errand, of course, I feel compelled to point out that that route, that route is what was commonly referred to as the long way around. On cold winter's night, what would any man choose route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused, the obvious route back to his lodgings, is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. How can you prove that? But, yes, I got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Insumi which route he took home. I have already informed the court the accused's responses to such questioning. He claims to has no recollection. That's right, as I said. Blood spent storm outside wandering his family A to B. The day is no exception. Says he doesn't remember where he was and which route he took home. I don't believe this! I thank you, my learned friend. Suggest that we do not waste any more time of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Pray to what you say, insightful jurors. Pray what you say. But even if that were the case, that fence still... I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does it mean... We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
Oh, screw you guys! Oh, screw you! Screw you guys! So unanimous. To the insightful members of the jury, I would applaud your brave resolve. You serve the Queen comfortable admirably. Mr. Nahado? No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to bounce the scouts out of the way. I have to turn this around somehow. Those are the eyes of Corey, not yet willing to give up and die. Okay. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again to this trial. Rights of the defense written into the acquainted British law. That's what we have buried a long time ago. Call it acquainted if you will. But the defense is prerogative to carry out the summonation examination, so if it chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed to the summonation examination. All members of the jury, ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course, already. You even become a foreman to begin with. I thought to know this Nimbleton's whipper and his uncle's refusal to throw away his alley. Well then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will reach an explanation on what grounds you have to determine the defendant to be guilty. Alright. This is gonna be awesome. Me versus all of you. Me versus all of you. I got an Abraham Lincoln wannabe who was in the last case. We have a Lacey Evans stylist. We have Tiny Tim in the middle. We've got we got the angry wife, Braun Strowman, and we've got Rob Reiner on the very last. Yeah, Rob Reiner. I would say Santa Claus, but Santa Claus has got a longer beard. The guy's got red cheeks and he's got the white hair. So yeah, Rob Reiner. For pity's sake, the Nimbleton's orderly already admitted it himself, didn't he? He said that woman collapsed right before his eyes. Why, it could only have been the victim. Hey, my wolf queen. The man would have gone around the houses on his way back to the bookshop, not in the winter. Poor woman attacked from behind. Was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to do. And your books, yes. I shocked that. But bourbon bricks, huh? No, not worth the visit. I don't know, two people. He has admitted to seeing the victim in a group. I must say, I wouldn't have it. Not already. Oh dear, even the judge appears to be convinced that Mr. Nasumi's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? How are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacked her when nobody can see? That's impossible. How can I possibly do your case on this defense? Mr. Ardo, there's no time for grumbling. We want to force the trial to continue. Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must say the jurors change their minds. 4 of them at least. You have the floor, Consul. Bring your summonings to examination. Yes, my lord. Come on, just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Irinosuke, you can do it. Summonation examination. I gotta find a way. For pity's sake.
Objection!
Hold it!
Damn it. He had no contradiction. Full. That's impossible.
Objection!
Hold it!
Damn it. This doesn't make sense. Hold it. Excuse me, but aren't you? That's right, I wasn't a witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face on the side of it anyway. I remember correctly, you were the banker, aren't you? I've forgotten that you treated me the other day. You and me and that young picket criminals. Oh, well, you know, one other bridge. No, there's no... I've heard of... Who cares about Mr. Faust? Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it!
Wait a minute. What am I doing wrong? Let's see. I gotta see what I gotta go with this. Alright. I gotta look at the statements carefully, Chris. Look at the statements carefully. He said the woman in green. If he said that woman in green club. The woman was arrested. That's the first. What do you ideas for the man? When I received the instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see, anyway. Mr. Asumi, the defendant, takes a lodging at your master's house, doesn't he? A shot of the character. Because we should look at the kind of man. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't present evidence. They won't let me. Yeah. Yeah, you can't present evidence in these. Shit. Yeah, you have to figure out which statement goes with which. Okay, so that's what they're making me do. Okay. Beyond the houses. I don't know. I need to figure out which statements go with which. I should probably start. Before I get the facts. Should probably press on some of these. Look at that guy right here. This is where were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. But an old bookshop it was. What? What a coincidence. That's right. Redtail Street it was. Student number 5? I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. Ooh, shit, he was working on the road that day. Just gotta go with it.
Objection!
Objection! Those two statements clearly adds with one another. Ask quickly explain yourself. Oh, please don't point at me, it was me, I swear. What? I just didn't want to get this as well. Juror number 3? Misa? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words are just as extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map in the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited to purchase a number of second-hand books. On that same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meacham Street, making it impassable, which means the defendant's routes home couldn't have been taken him along Meacham Street and down Briar Road. Yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that. Really, can you now? I must have had 2 good yards or more to pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman along had to turn up back on the other way. So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken a longer road back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose that must be right, eh? To number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now he had no choice. He's right. My Lord Judge, sir, if I might. Yes, I don't think all in good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, let's see his trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's all this prosecutions are great, it should be filled with that's what I have to say.
Well done, sir. That's wonderful. We managed to change a couple of minds at least, straighten our position somewhat. Yes, we brought the members of the jury to stance as well. They'd be asking themselves the current learning what's right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more group of discrepancies that we have done this. Right at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. It's quite clearly someone wearing a green was the victim. But clearly, the thing we're limited is the... Well, let's not forget, madam, the defendant venereally denies attacking the woman. Of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, life is over. It's obviously claiming the woman simply flies for his own eyes. But if that's a lie you're suggesting, do you have to do this? I do declare that the man already made the admission. He himself has stated that nobody else is around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. Nobody else could have possibly committed this awful crime. Just say let's hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? Yes, I like the old books there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of milk too. But that's daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And what time did you visit your books that day in question? I was picking up books there around in the afternoon. It would have to be about just before 5 after I left. And that my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say. It's exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not too forget about a day that hurt me, not after all the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and dunked my head. I always got worse if the snow stopped falling. So it was real slippery. I played out I did, and I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This Calabash Road? Yeah, that's right. I live on Cornpipe, you see. And heading down the Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist. You add that information to your formal statement. It's extremely significant. Sorry. Extremely sick. No, quite right now. Yeah, I know that. So, one of those statements. One of these statements has to add up with what he just said. Ha! What if it wasn't the woman in green she saw? It was actually that dude right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Objection! Those two statements showed a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are y'all talking about, Consul? Well, the juror number 2. Juror number 6? Whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was odd or anything. But there's at least one fact that we can be sure here. The book-shut receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that day of the attack. It had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles, and then he returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return to journey. That's correct. But he is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, well, there's the poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Can you really be sure of that, madam? Like, whatever you mean. Should you hear juror number 6 on what happened to him that day? That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over the icy streets of the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to the hard-hearing juror number 6. Are you suggesting the person in the green overcoat from who the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was really the old gentleman on the bench here with me today? That's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has somewhat of a similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that.
My goodness, me.
Hey, Sherry, you need a pee?
That was funny. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who misunderstood me saw collapse in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken a long route back to his lodgings. If that were true, then clearly the crime on Briar Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home.
You idiot old man. You idiot old man. If you hadn't been so draft as to roaming about there, we would have been boxed here off hours ago.
Oh, really? What were you thinking? We're in such a building.
What did you say to me? It's a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days, Is it a crime to step over the ice? It's a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
My lord, I hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You like to change your leaning, I suppose?
I do declare that I would. I should call for a verdict not guilty. Thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Eh? Well, that examination with a rather large opinion. And the eyes 2 and the nose of 4. And those nose habits. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a conscience among the members of the jury. The trial shall continue.
Objection!
Alcoholic! Alcoholic! Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollowed chalice moments after raising objection, only to crush in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet, we had just witnessed them falling from a cheap performed trick by an Eastern entertainer. Huh? I haven't tricked anyone! Everything I said was the truth! Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was indefinitely repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said was good 2 yards of the pavement which you have evacuated. Took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly 2p for it. Now, my learned nepotence friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that the 2 yard represents? Well, to be honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, distance immediately vaulted anyone of a moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Oh, me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? You perchance erect a sign to prevent the pedestrians from passing on the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. Wasting a lot of time. No coach is what I've been. But I'd hope of passing anyway. But we have just got gentlefolk coming back when they come. Can't jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as you can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring... Hey, Whittle! That he could spring over a 2 yard trench in his misreadings around town. Is that true? Is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books purchased by the accused were found at the crime scene, and there could be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, but just to be walked down by a road. Fresh in a single sentence. And the old man... The old man? You can talk? You say around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Pavlash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious looking... you at the time? Can't say I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my little friend? You say this old man that accused saw, but I would say 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself!
My lord, you have such a treasure argument up your sleeve. Why in the world did you not prefer the indulgent examination? Of course, I wanted to give this young foreign student a sightseeing before experience no doubt he came for. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so immediately swayed. But my hospitality has limits. They have been reached, I feel. So, my learned day's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call the next witness to the stand.
Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witness.
It's the next witnesses. Starter, don't you remember? We've been told several occasions they were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them was being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Lord Van Zeeks brings to the stand in his witness, no matter what they say, I believe Suzuki-san. I know he's innocent. I'll keep believing the story to the very end until the battle's over. Who the? Witnesses, please state your names and occupations to the court.
Good Salvador, all you mean, sir? Nothing to report in the street, sir.
And I'm Miss Bright. Patricia's my name. Hey, it's my sister's name. I'm proud to say that I'm this young town's hero's wife. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we have not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. No, it was your husband I was talking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. What's been an honorable occupation patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Really, I'm sure I've heard that one before. Actually. Indeed. Apart from those rare days off, our gallant officers truly judge the miles of the day, you know. Patrolling the board houses, pubs, collectible taxes. Hold on, guys, I gotta use the bathroom. Hey, Whittle. Don't know if I want it. Hey, Whittle, I'm not sure if I'm going to be up for a heist later. But if Netwell wants to do it, I'll do it. We're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lightning and extinguishing the lights. 100 items on the list. They don't sound much like public duty offices at all. And the policeman's primary apprehension of criminals, even if he's off duty. A constable is expected to be to investigate resolve what happened in his beat. For the London's Bobby, a man of his honor. And that man's a slumber. On the day in question, a man and his wife walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. They witnessed an incident and occurred. Is that correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat? That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly? Wait, what? Did they saw again? Constable Rolly Beats, nothing to report on the street, sir. What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies. You will tell the court exactly what you saw in the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. It was our wedding anniversary. It was our wedding anniversary, and Roy was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and then the other scattered something before running off. Huh? Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Oh dear. Police and his wife are claiming identified. Listen, testimony is true. The ultimate course of events you've established. Death is no fact. That's an alternative. Wedding anniversary too. Yes, I know, but I'm still managed to go off for very hard indeed. Yeah, about you guys. Yeah, we can worry about you guys' wedding anniversary later. We should worry about you guys' wedding anniversary another time. This isn't time for your wedding anniversary, guys. Let's not state the fact that an innocent man was killed, and we should get this cross-examination over with. This car should be over in 10. We'll be over in 10 minutes. You may just have the rest of the afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witness, saw the face of a man in the scene. They're testifying the oath. Without a doubt, the man was accused. Mr. Suzuki Natsumi. Except the man's so tired his wife is doing all the talking. Anyway, the two silhouettes appeared in the fog, came to the floor in front of us. Silhouettes? That's right, they were looking up on the bright road in that direction. was a rather plump figure and followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. Wait, what? Wait a minute, did you say scrawny, thick-looking man? Yeah, you said scrawny. You said scrawny. But Mr. Natsumi's not scrawny, he's more of a he's more of a muscle build type of guy. Unfortunately it was, and you were certain at the time there was nobody else nearby. Nobody else around at all. Alright, my darling. Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a white fog on the ground. On Briar Road that night, you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. There was street lighting as well. I didn't see any other. Six firm hold, please, Mr. B. Are you sure you just? Yes, Kappa. He spends every day on the streets. I swear. I'm sure. For the love of my Patricia, it's true. Oh, Pop. Oh, Roy. Don't you see that there must be... Well... Let's see. All of a sudden, one just collapsed on the floor. Hold it. Scattered something. What do you mean by that? Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out at the time. But when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? Yeah, that's right. Some old books. I see the old books. Yes, the culprit dropped a number of them. They were all laying down on the pavement. Indeed. The picture photograph print. The run in Japanese men did the deed. Let's not forget, it remains to be established that the defendant indeed was the attacker. Well, we saw him, the man in the dark. What a question, sir. The mustache back, the cat eyes, the tap mouth, and the skunk nose. Any more insults you want to throw in? Suddenly, threw the books on the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. Now, please continue. Yes, sir. Alright. Hold it! Was it your husband who went to fetch for help? You know, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am my wife after all. Isn't that right, my darling? Oh yes, that's right. That's Miss Brief to go. I was off duty at my point. But Bobby never truly was off duty, of course, so I found a blessed state. I tried to order from the right police box. Forgive me my ignorance. What do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depending on crime location, you know the details with that. But what the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia Avoid the police box and as long as you should go report it. Probably on. Let's move on, shall we? I'm sure you wouldn't have been able to see his face. Absolutely could. Us on the news have exceptional eyesight, you know? Right. The light from the street lamps is more than enough. Me and my husband told you the fog that day was... What is it? Like you can't even see the end of your own arm. Yes, alright. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about it? Because that fog makes your eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure it's certain it was a Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? You know what? Oh, yes, I was accused, no mistake. The mustache, hunchback, cat eyes, the top mouth, the stub. No, it's mistakeable. So that's it, huh? That's the... What you want? The members of the jury. If you would try to find a contradiction where no, sadly not. The effort for strapping young men earlier. Well, I think you can probably see a way to that. What? I just finished my beat. Station. I didn't change that. I don't recognize anything. Well, I was such a drop. I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. Wait, what's this now? My word, Katsa. Proof that I'm a running kappa. Putting in my boots to be secure. doesn't appear that. What's up? This one particular day I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Oh, with a little over the top perhaps. Then Dolores, sir, can I ask you something? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so it seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right, isn't it? Well, out with it. No, just really not at all. My husband's police my room. We all know what we saw. Remember every last detail, everything like, oh, I know. What's the name dropped? Continue every names of recent. You dare to question what my testimony is? That will do, Miss Beach. No, I won't do it all. A Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. I don't mean the offense. Please put your husband's fist down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beach. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. Wouldn't it, darling? Yeah, let her tell the names. Whoa, wait. You said 4 books. So you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right, I remember all of them. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there was a fundamental flaw in the statement of yours. No, what flaw? Simply at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yep, and the details of Mr. Natsumi's purchases that day. But as you can see, there are only 3 books listed. Only 3? But no, that can't be! I remember seeing them! There were 4 books that day, you 4 dirty old books! Oh really? Have a good look at this photograph print of the scene of the crime. As you can see, this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. But I just don't believe it. I saw them, sir. I saw them. No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied on. Cannot be denied. Although you say the defendant you saw, you clearly be mistaken. No.
Objection!
It's plainly evident that your powers of deduction cannot be relied on, my nipotence friend. What? We cannot be denied that the witnesses saw the accused running away from the scene. The fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Huh? So, you've striven to avert the attention from that by dint of some unsequential discrepancies. That would be fair. He's right to see through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. The policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. You see, no matter it's not up for debate. At the scene of Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found. But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say... Allow me to present another, which shows a victim's hand. I don't believe it. It's a book. As you will observe. The 4th book was hidden from view of the original print of the victim's torso. Yeah, but how can you be so certain? Listen, Van Zeeks, you alcoholic. You know, I think that alcohol's gone to your brain too much. But can you answer this question? Just bear with me here. Just one small little thing. If that is in the victim's hand, how can you be so certain that it's not Sume's? No! You're panicking over nothing, dude. That's not even his book. You see, look at that, look. Yes. Look at the study receipt for the book's purchase for the accused in question. Miss B, the titles again, if you please. Picture and what's it look quick. I forgot too, in fact. But there are only 3 books on the receipt. That's nothing surprising about that. It's clearly the 4th book in which is shown the photographic print. Oh no, my lord. The photographic clearly shows the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim? Holding her own book? I wonder. Over here, there it is. Wait a minute. Why couldn't you add the book? Alright, let me see that book. Can I see that book real quick? Can I see that book again, Captain Blue Eyes? Let's see. Huh? Oh, look at this! The book has been badly burnt. You're right. Leave state. Wait a minute. Ha! Ha! Lion's Pride! You just told me who your assailant is. This dude just told me who the assailant is. You guys just pretty much spoiled the assailant. You guys just told me who the assailant is. Okay, let me ask you guys, work with me here, guys. Doesn't that name of that book sound awfully odd to you? Who else owned a book called Lion's Pride? That obviously didn't come from any library. I already know who owned the book. Sure as hell wasn't any bookstore. You don't need to look inside, because there's no blood there. Because there was no murder that took place. But I know whose book that was. Thank you for... I have nothing further to add. What? Oh, friend. But your resistance is not bound in vain. Entertaining, yes, and fertile. We know whose book that is. Dude, don't give up! You know who that book belongs to! Everything you said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yeah. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen here would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time with this Simpsons travesty? Don't make a decision yet! I know whose book... Mr. Otto, I'm afraid we're terribly... I know, but I have to fight back a long way now. Make matters worse. Curiosity, what to do now? Raise the objection, dude! I'm not done yet. Oh, now my learned friend is over. The last cross-examination was your final chance to establish the credible... and you failed. Then die has been cast. There's no room for you to debate. Well, it might not be over yet, but you concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. Come on, dude, you know this! You know this, man! If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, it seems to have somewhat boorish closed down to debate at this point. You're a significant little Eastern Isle lawless indeed. Lowly judicial system must have audacity intervene at a moment. Come on, guys, think. I am to my shame still a very experienced lawyer, so you will have to forgive me. I must consider my assistant's advice and essential, their opinions invaluable. Mr. Otto. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madam. Go ahead, Mrs. Tato. Please say what I think you're gonna say. Very well. Pray, what insight you can give us? We have overlooked this matter, you see. To pursue further. Owner of the book. Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but after the last cross-examination finished... I see. You believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Mr. Nahato, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask members of the jury to announce their leanings at the moment. And of course, explain what crucial piece of evidence and why. We must take this opportunity to examine the new... I can't let this go to waste. The defense wishes to present the evidence, my lord. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic at the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand. We have already discussed the fourth book at length, and other than it being the victim's gas at the time of the incident, has no significance been attached to it. Pursuing the further would fling, and there'll be a waste of the court's time as well, as you know. Yes, I'm afraid the counsel must concur with the prosecution of this matter. When I offered you this opportunity, you lead to the court to believe that the evidence in question could be contained by a Heathrow of an undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You identified this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Yes, my lord. Mr. Hado, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid the examination of the evidence, which means You may be right on track. Yes, I think you might be right. So then, Counsel, precisely where the vital clue of this evidence of forth? The burnt mark, you idiots. The burnt mark, you idiots! I would have to ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Oh, goodness gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves, why would the victim be clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? Undeniably, unnatural thing for her to be doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my nipotence friend? Where do I concede the point? It bears no relation to the case. Pray to enlighten us all. What truth does the charade book hide? There is one possibility here which I can quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance that's certainly but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Do keep us waiting longer than counsel. Explain this theory of yours. Where are you suggesting that the assertion of this fire damage is suffered? Its owner, dude. My lord, the burn on the back reveals the startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon? But who it belongs to? No, the true owner, you idiots! The question is, how the book came to the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions who the book really belongs to, and where it's originated, the defense has very credible answers. Goodness gracious, how could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to involve the lies. But do remember, the members of the jury may very well burn your little gamble weary. Counsel, the defense response here is very likely to influence the outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you think the... The answer is the truth. The book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garib. The landlords? And whether this extraordinary coincidence is a fatal work, I don't know, but all the people in London, one of the six chosen for the jury duty in the courtroom today, none other than Mrs. Garib herself. Oh my goodness! Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garib's wife. I'm his maid. That'd be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. All right then. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book, Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garib's house? I would have presumed that.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate an hard-working member of the public, you besmircher without a shred of evidence. Your actions are forgivable. It's not a mere conjecture. The defense happens to know. On that day, almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed in the pavement below. Another incredible incident were taking place in the room of the top floor, Mr. Garib's house. Good Lord! What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. This happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see basically a thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The lion's pride. The lion's pride? By Jove, the very same title that the subjects debate. Oh dear me. This is reasonable. All you told the court is that the book by the same name and involved in a fire. In which case, entirely unreasonable. The inferior magically of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was a martial discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mr. and Mrs. Garib considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garib even amid the flames. How awful! I can't even imagine being sorry the one you love, can you, Raleigh? No, sir. My Patricia would never. There's a thing against me, sir. Had all. Yeah. The man had his back up against the window and had burning books at him? Goodness gracious, are you suggesting the book went out a window and landed coincidentally at the crime scene? Not a thorough investigation surrounding. Being broken. That's quite true. We also have no sign of the broken glass. We're visiting Mr. Garib's household. But it's no conceivable that the window was open at the time. Maybe remotely. Lest I forget the reason and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No launderer would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Finish post the scenario and all services console. Do you earnestly claim that the book was found at the crime scene with a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garib's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. But I don't believe that's a possibility. That's quite enough. Well, I hope that everyone can see for what you really are, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you were just a coward. A mean coward! Claiming that our little tiff would set off a whole neighborhood, alright, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid appearances for sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case. None of it. All you have done is solely our family's name. No, I assure you, that was never my intention. Dragging upstanding citizens' name through the mud and simply divert the attention of your family. It will shock yours, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. Here we go. How we are sat here now listening to this impotent spouting, fancying foreign theories. But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache and ran away from the scene. Alright. It would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the juries have decided once again a full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks? Truth is, my lord, I feel that this has been unnecessary proceedings. Then, I must allow the exercise to patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... If books are your particulation, my friend, certainly on your own time. What? No forgive discourtesy at the time? In that case, the gentlemen of the jury, you will now...
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
You've got to be kidding me. Thank you. Whatever. It's twice now. It's over. Don't give up. Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're suggesting, of course, that isn't right for another. My lord's defense. I don't tend to trick anybody, but I tend to uncover the truth. Alright, guys, go ahead and see my current progress. We're probably going to go ahead and finish this summonation examination tomorrow. I'm going to get on with my Wolf Queen and play with her for a little bit. But this was fun, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. Bye-bye.